In Sporty news today, Yannick Noah stands his ground on doping, football stars auctioned off. In Formula 1, money wins over talent. Hugo Lloris against traumatic prison experiences, and Mario Balotelli suits up. Yannick Noah and doping, part 2. The former French tennis player is standing his ground. Doping really is practiced in the world of sport. This time, Yannick Noah has criticized all the people who expressed outrage when he openly broached on the topic in November. People get nervous when you start talking about doping because at some point everyone was involved or knew about it. No more waffling, sport is consumed by doping, and not just in Spain like he'd initially suggested. It concerns more sports that involve a lot of money. Do you want me to talk about the French, the Americans? The 1983 French Open winner explained on French television. Yannick Noah says he's received a number of messages of support in the last few weeks from doctors, former athletes, and people who know what goes on behind the scenes in sport. And as the saying goes, there's no smoke without fire. The winter transfer window is closed, and Europe wasn't the only place where business was booming. India also got in on the action. The Indian Championship wants to make a name for itself on the international football stage. In order to further their cause, Indian officials have dreamt up a way of putting former football stars up for auction. It's generated real buzz and is a winning formula. The 6 teams of the future elite Indian Championship had the pick of 6 big names. Argentine striker Hernan Crespo, who played for Chelsea and AC Milan, Fabio Cannavaro, the captain of the Italy national team and world champion in 2006, or even Arsenal winger Robert Pires. International players Robbie Fowler, Juan Pablo Sorin, and JJ Okocha were also put up for auction. At the end of the day, Hernan Crespo was bought for $840,000 by Barasat, Fabio Cannavaro for $850,000 by Siliguri, and Frenchman Robert Pires is heading to Haurat for $800,000. The competition will last 7 weeks starting February the 25th. It's showdown in the paddock. Apparently, there are 2 categories of F1 drivers: the good ones and the rich ones. Big names like Arnaud Trulli and Felipe Massa are concerned about the massive arrival of paid drivers on the starting line. In the past few years, the recession has seen an increasing number of rich drivers take to the circuits. They see no problem with paying to obtain a ride. Among the casualties is talented Williams driver Rubens Barrichello, who used to race for Ferrari and has been sidelined by this new breed of drivers. Sergio Perez pays $10 million a year on average. Pastore Maldonado, 12 million euros on average. Vitaly Petrov between 10 and 15 million. The list gets longer every year. Instead of looking at their resumes, F1 bosses prefer to look at bank accounts, even if that means races lose their panache. Hugo Lloris is campaigning for more humane prisons. The French international footballer shot a video for Prison du Cœur, an association which seeks to combat traumatic jail experiences. His message is everyone should get a second chance.
We can all make mistakes, and prison doesn't necessarily always happen to someone else. Everybody has the right to a second chance. Together, with Prison du Cœur, let's change our outlook and make sure the first offence is the last offence.
Mario Balotelli just can't stay out of the spotlight. The Italian yet again made headlines in the English press, but in the fashion pages this time. The Manchester City striker was voted the 2nd best-dressed man in England by GQ magazine. A real surprise for Super Mario, who arrived ahead of Robert Pattinson, the star of the Twilight Saga. Rapper Tiny Tempa topped the list as the best-dressed man in the UK. His popularity in England, fueled by his constant antics, no doubt had an impact on the vote. Remember when our man Mario arrived for practice wearing a hat in the shape of a chicken? Not to mention the time he couldn't even get his training bib on. Funny, but not exactly classy.
I'm in charge now. I'm a star and I put my cars down. I live a very